So, today I would like to share something really cool with you. Basically the Oculus of the 90s, the DOS version of Virtual Reality VFX1 headgear. This is possible thanks to my friend, which I would really want to thank. He kept it safe in basement or something like that for like 10 years and he never had occasion to use it, so he needed to find someone that keeps his old stuff, because it needs a quite old PC to make it run, which fortunately I have and can make it run. We're gonna play it on a PC with processor 486 with a graphics chip S3. The thing is that it needs a port ISA, I'm not sure exactly how you pronounce it, with 16-bit pin port and VESA connection for the graphics chip. So that's enough for the technical stuff. So let's play it because it's quite fun. The Witching Hour monster is my little helper today. Okay, so this is how the headgear looks like. It's actually pretty cool piece of hardware. I'm not really sure if I can show everything so well like that. It has two screens there, one for left, one for left eye, one for right eye. If you know more or less how the 3D effect works, you should know, and if not, then maybe I'll send some links in the description. Not sure if I want to describe it now. The optical elements, I'm not sure how to exactly call it, they look like such telescope parts where you can adjust the sharpness and so on, so setting it up takes a little bit. First of all, you need to set the distance of them so the eyes are adjusted, and then adjust sharpness and each eye separated. It's really important because if you want to have it look nice and clean and clear, then you should really pay attention to that if you want to have a nice gaming experience. It also has a microphone, but I believe the description because I didn't really find it yet. But should have. I hope that works. That's the only thing that wasn't really tested yet. Stereo headset, and yeah, I think that's mainly the most important stuff. It's not connected yet. I will connect it in a moment. One of the disadvantages I would say is that it's not adjustable on the side, so if you have a bit too big head for it, then it's not for you. The sound, the headset, it's actually quite close to the ears, so if you play even bit sound of the game and so on, you can't hear anything from your surrounding, which is pretty good. And this is how it's gonna look put on. If you don't play at the moment, you can always bend it up and you can see normally. Still need to adjust the back of it so it doesn't slide off the head. It's such little zipper. And overall, I must say it's pretty comfortable. Recently I had occasion to play around with modern virtual reality glasses and so on, and I must say this is more comfortable than that because the weight of it, it's all over your head and doesn't feel like it's only front and it's sliding down. So that's a good advantage. If I remember anything more to say about it, I will say it after, and now I'm gonna connect everything. Back then everything was on cables, which is a little bit disadvantage because you are limited your movements and so on. But that's a little bit unavoidable in such equipment. So we have two cables connected to the headgear. One is the whole thing being connected to the PC and the other is the controller, which I'm gonna talk about later. And one thing about the headgear is that it comes in a handy little box. I hope I can show some of it at least. Maybe I will make some photos of it and upload it somewhere, although I'm pretty sure some other people will have it already. Yeah, okay, it's not the easiest thing to show. Of course we have system requirements on it, and I hope you can see it. On the coolness scale, the VFX1 hits a perfect 10 out of 10. We have two screens in here with resolution 263 on 230, so not too incredible, but it does a job. Not sure if it's just me, but if you play around too much with the screen, putting it up and down all the time, it's making it a bit blurry, so the adjustment need to be done constantly, at least for me, to make it look nice. And yeah, if you imagine that it's gonna look like you are in the game and can totally feel around it, you're gonna be a little disappointed about it, because the view in it is more like looking at a cinema screen. You can see the edges, black lines around the screen, like looking from a tube or something. I think the cinema screen gives it the best view of it. Which is not too bad considering that it was made like 20 years ago, but that's, yeah, not the best solution. Okay, so first maybe I'll show the setup program for the thing, you know, to calibrate it and check if it works and so on. This is just a picture to make the help focus on the screen. You wanna make sure that nothing is blurry and that it's adjusted and looks nice and pretty and so on. Just, I think this picture, at least for my eyes, don't have the, well, of course, don't have the 3D effect, so you can't set it up for that. Which I think it should have in the menu, such picture for that adjustment. Not sure why they didn't put it, but oh well. Yeah, by loading times. And now we can see how the headgear detects the movement. It supports 360-degree view. Because of the cable, it's not really possible to totally use it. If you would probably turn a few times around, you could choke yourself. You can also slowly test the controller. So detection is pretty smooth, I would say. It's quite impressive how detailed it is, actually. Oh, you can also test the sensors of the controller. I forgot about that. So we can move it in 2 axes, if I'm describing it correctly. And we have 3 buttons. If you're left-handed, then the controller is mirrored, so that's not an issue, can be held in both hands. We're gonna start testing with Waldenstein. I can also control the menu with the controller I have. I got speakers. I hope you can hear the music. Not totally used to the sensitivity of this thing. Oops. back. Okay. Okay, so in Wolfenstein we don't have the 3D effect. It's just flat screen, let's say. But we still can look around. Obviously there's no up and down looking, but that's okay. And with the controller we move forward and backward, and we can also turn. Which is a pretty good solution, so because if you reach the maximum to the right, you can still use the controller to look further, so you don't have to spin in circles. We have 3 buttons. First one is shooting, second one is strafing, and last one is opening doors. We can control the speed depending how much we move the controller, which is pretty good. Feels pretty natural. Maybe needs a little while to get used to it. The sound quality is pretty good, and because of the size of the headset and how it's covering ears all around, you can't really hear the sounds of the surroundings. So if you use the headgear, you have absolutely no idea what's going on around you. And of course I'm gonna be lost. Should have practiced the game a bit before. Whatever, we're just testing. If we hold the strafe button and look around, we're also gonna strafe, which feels a little weird, because you rather want to turn head like this and not like this. The view is also pretty good, although it's enough that little settings turn in the eyes, viewers, and it's already getting a bit blurry. So it's not recommended to head back in this thing or you're gonna lose the vision. Okay, pretty good. Okay, next thing to test is gonna be Heretic. Some of the games I'm getting sound from the PC that you can probably hear now. I'm not exactly sure what is causing it. And let's see. Okay, there's probably option to change settings in Heretic, but I didn't bother with that yet. In Heretic, the turning doesn't work on the pad, which is not too awesome if you want to look in some direction. That should be changed in the option, but for now, just to test, it's good enough. We can't really look up and down, and as you can see, my PC is not happy with this game. Visually saying, the game looks pretty. It's really nice to look for the headgear. Also no 3D effect, that shouldn't forget to mention that. But it's really pretty to look at, and hopefully if I get a graphic card for further testing of this thing, it's gonna be more pleasant to play it. So not gonna bother to go to Feather. But it looks quite awesome. Yeah, so you can also use the headgear to check the windows, to look at desktop and move stuff around, but it's a bit hard to read, if not impossible, because of the small resolution. Also the messages I had now were not too easy to read, could be also because the settings are not perfectly set, like really minimally too much to left or right, and it's already enough to make the vision blurry. But the game looks good. He's holding the gun in the left hand, so I can maybe do that. Can we look left and right? Oh, okay, we can. Probably changing the sensitivity would make it a bit better to look around, because then the range is increasing. But at the moment it's okay, as long as I can move with the controller, it's good enough. Okay, this looks pretty good. Also not having a 3D effect, in case I forgot to mention. And at the moment I don't have HUD or anything on the screen. Probably could change it. Ah, got stuck over there. If you don't want to bother reading through the headset, you can always cheat and okay. Clear the suck of this game. Oh, okay. This worked for now. Can I get a sword? I want a sword. No idea if I can. What I know about the game is that you can change to some monsters and that this is the demo version. That's as far as I can tell. I have no idea what I'm doing. To fly higher. Oh, okay. Click. To fly higher, click above the purple gem on either side border of the area. Is a purple gem? Oh, that one. I think it's that. That. Oh. This is cool. Hopefully this creature fights better. Seems it does. I change to something else. Frogman. Okay, I was supposed to check the headgear and not the game, but I'm a little amused at the moment. That would be fun to see in 3D. Still no 3D effect. Oh, okay. I'm gonna make a lottery. Click. Okay. Yes. Okay. Okay. Here headset doesn't seem to work, so everything is controlled by the pad. Okay, I think the sensitivity also has issues.
Don't shoot!
You ate some what? Yeah. We have strafing. Yep, strafing. So similar like in Wolfenstein. I guess the last button gonna be used. Okay, gonna test Planet Nexion now. So game on Wolfenstein engine. One of our games. In the menu the font changes color a little, but here I can't see that and I'm not sure if it's the headset. I'll have some issue. But except that it's okay for now. Oh, the screen is tiny. That should get fixed. Not sure why I couldn't see the different font color, but oh well. Okay, so I was pretty excited to check this game on the headgear because of the black and white color theme. And I must say it's even more brain-fucking than playing it just on PC. The controls are just like before. So nothing to add here. But for sure it's amusing to play around with the colors. The screen black is a bit brighter than the black of the outside of the view. Something like that. Okay. I thought I didn't click anything, but apparently I opened a secret. Which would be even more brain-fucking if the black of the screen was melting with the black of the all around. Pity it's not like that. That would be awesome. The screen has little problems with displaying exactly the edge of white and black, because you're getting a bit bluish colors, a bit brownish. But except that, it looks pretty good. And at this moment I could mention also, at the very beginning I was showing the menu of testing for the headgear, where you had, I forgot the word, give me a moment. What was the word to set up the stuff to war? Of course I had to forget it. I'm gonna play a while, I'm probably gonna remember the word in a moment. To calibrate! Yes, there, found it in my mind. The calibration. So normally if you calibrate stuff like that, it's asking you to aim here, aim there, and do this and that, and it's saving it as offset and so on. And calibration for this thing was asking for the city you are from. And I absolutely didn't understand why. What it has anything to do with the calibration. It turns out that the headgear is using, in a very simple way, a compass inside of it, and it's adjusting, yeah, with a compass. So that's why it needs a city where you're from. So it probably has some settings depending on where are you using it. It's using the compass settings from that, which is pretty cool. Quite unusual solution, I would say. If I was supposed to make such thing and need to do a calibration, I would rather put it flat on the table and use that as offset. Now I'm gonna play Deathtrigger. It's one of my games, and at the moment it's my favorite one to play with the headgear. Because it's running pretty flawless, like all the games that were tested on Wolf engine, and it has some cool features, which I'm quite happy about. Okay. So the controls are pretty much like before, like in Wolfenstein, so with the controller, looking left and right. The difference is, which is really awesome, just let me go to the right room. Oops. If you played this game before on PC, you should know that it has a feature that you can look up and down. And you need to do that if you want to shoot the targets that are on floor on up, and so on. So yeah, looking up and down. And PC, Windows version, DOS version now on PC, it was done by keys, looking up and down, and here we can just, ta-da, looking up, straight, and down. So it has support for the headgear, sensitively looking up and down, which is awesome. Totally cool. So here, shoot the targets up, we need to look up. To shoot down target, we need to look down. Over there, oops, I'm stuck. Because if you shoot straight, it's not gonna work. You need to look down. Ta-da! Awesome. This is just so cool that I managed to make my game work like that on the headgear. It's, yeah, quite excited about it. Unfortunately, don't have the 3D vision yet. Maybe it will be possible one day, but this is still really, really cool. And yeah, if you don't wanna aim with the controller, you can always aim a little bit with the helmet itself. With a little bit of practice, the feeling of playing the game is really nice, really smooth, and really, really fun. Just need to have a bit feel in it. And the game I really wanted to show is Descent. Unfortunately, the game runs quite slow and not too nice on my PC, but I just had to show this. Because I kept repeating that this game doesn't have a 3D view, this game doesn't have a 3D view, and so on. And this game does. So this was a must show, even if it's running like terrible and so on, it's a must show. So you can look left and right, and it actually looks pretty. Restrict the view. Oh, what's this button? Okay, anyways, what I see in the headgear, it's actually different from on the screen. Like, as you can see, it's split. This is the left eye view and this is the right eye view. So if you are watching the new videos on the Oculus, virtual reality and so on the internet, you see same screen. So the technology didn't really change much past 20 years. The basic of it is exactly same. So we have two separate images where left and right images are like a bit apart. So it's imitating the view that you should have with the left and right eye. And basically the brain does all the work. So it actually looks 3D, and to see it you have to have the headgear or any other thing to look at it. This is a demo version, so it's not supporting fully the controls as I would want it to have. There's some difference but I forgot at the moment. And yeah, it's a little bit sluggish, but you can actually see the depth of the corridors, see the enemy that it's getting further closer and so on. Of course it's not as impressive as the modern technology, but for the times this thing was made, it's really awesome to look at. And I hope that when I'm gonna upgrade the PC, I can show more games, run them smoother and enjoy the 3D better than this. The humans to save, you can actually see that the one is not smaller than the other one, but it's actually further behind. It's not flat and yeah, looks pretty cool. Left eye, right eye. You can't really see it, but trust me, the images are a bit moved from each other. Sure. I pick up apple? What can I do with apple? I'm walking with apple around. I shot it! You can throw an apple. Can I pick it up? I want my apple back. Apple! Oh. Oh, There was something behind me and probably killed me. I was still focused on the apple. Okay, so anyways, I think that's all I wanted to show. I might be a bit dirty now, because the soft part from the headset is a little bit, not sure how to say it in English, getting such dust thing, but my no headset for the PC it's doing the same thing after using, and it's not as old, so I think that's kinda normal. I'm pretty happy with this thing. It's pretty cool to have, it's really fun to play on it, and the best thing is, like for most retro equipment, that it was 10 years in basement, and before that friend couldn't really test it because didn't have equipment, so was just using it as a helmet as kid to run around, and it didn't get broken, it still works, and that is just awesome. That the old stuff don't break so easily. Highly recommend if you ever manage to get around to play with it, it's really cool.